Going on to you, Leos. All right, so this video is going to be pretty long. I'm going to be doing the tarot reading first, and then after that, I'm going to actually do the video of why it is I love Leos in this same video, but right after this segment. I figured that this is very much so easier for me to do instead of having to make two separate videos, just conjoin them together. So there's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to financially support the channel. Everything from tarot readings, birth chart readings, the books that are out. Appreciate y'all, by the way, for coming through. All right, so for you, Leos, you have the Tower, the Two of Wands, and then you have the Hermit. So what it is I'm seeing here for you, Leos, is that I'm saying that you Leos are ultimately, you've changed. And I think a lot of people have wanted to see you change, but they wanted to see you change based upon the worst, right? They wanted you to actually start making terrible decisions by getting you frustrated, by tricking and trapping you, getting you on your nerves, and trying to get you to say and to do something that is totally out of character. And and a lot of you Cancer crabs, a lot of you Leos are ultimately not even really, I just did Cancer crabs, so, stall me out. So a lot of you Leos are very much so interested in none of that. A lot of you Leos are not very interested in getting on other people's nerves, tricking and trapping, trying to get them on their nerves, trying to do something back to them. A lot of you Leos are very much so leading with your enlightenment. You're in your own pursuit of trying to figure out, what exactly does this environment mean? What do you mean in this environment? How does this environment affect you? This hyper competitivity, right? And why is it that it's harder for you, right? So the reason why ultimately is really because of the fact that, you Leos, it seems like you can't necessarily catch a break socially, even though other things are going well for you, right? Your health is good, your finances are good. You can't necessarily catch a break socially because, once again, a lot of people are just not on that same level with you, Leos, for you to actually be able to have something in common with them. A lot of people very much so want to make sure that you still get caught up with the trickings and the trappings of the regular mundane things, which is pettiness, bottom feeding, constantly paying attention to what other people are really doing, as opposed to paying attention to what you need to do. And, it really is pathetic and stuff like this, how it is that people can't seem to be able to play their position when they come to you. They always have to make up some form of an excuse for you, right? Why it is that they can't seem to actually be able to do the right thing, do the correct thing, which is to act like they have some level of common sense, right? When they come to you and be able to build as a team, as a marriage, as a couple, as a relationship. Everything that comes with that, finances is entwined in that, personal growth is entwined in that, and they a lot of the times don't necessarily want to, but a lot of you Leos had to go through this route. You had to go through the struggles for you Leos to really understand from a first-hand account. It's not you all the time. Like, unless you show out and unless you act up, then it's you, right? And you have to take responsibility for your parts. But when it's not you, even if they try to project that it's you, it is you in the sense that they're insecure around you. And then on top of that, you couple that up with the fact that they're dysfunctional. So they're going to have all kinds of excuses as to why it is that it's your problem, even if it's factually incorrect. And you know this because once you, Leo, started to do better, which was months ago, that was like 6 months to a year ago. That's when you, Leo, started to realize even more that this is a concerted effort. This is a planned effort. You know, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is that you try, no matter how much you step your game up, there always are going to be bums showing up. Bums. There's going to be people that's going to try to become your friend, to try to infiltrate what it is that you've got going on because they're hyper competitive. And then they're going to try to, you know, talk about how it is that they see something in you and see something in you or whatnot. And, you know, in you, because, everybody wants to get on this, everybody wants to be spiritualists. Everybody is getting on their fake spiritualism stuff, nowadays. That's the new stuff. This new stuff is this new age spiritualist where so many people start talking about, love and light and crystals and candles and, talentless people want to now jump up and be tarot readers, people who don't even know themselves or the difference between their butthole and a hole in the ground want to jump up and now start to be, tarot readers and stuff like this. And I'm not even taking shots at every single person. They know who I'm taking shots at or shots to. But everything that, that they pop up now wants to, everything that they say is factually incorrect. That's because of the fact that, you Leos are really seeing that a lot of people just can't be trusted and their judgment. Everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but so many people are on this fake spiritualist type stuff. Everybody is trying to be above everybody else. That's the new level of hypergamy and classism. They're trying to be more spiritual than you. Their wealth has something to do with their spirituality, and it does. But they forget that you can't sacrifice your spirituality for your finances. Because then your finances, doesn't matter how your finances go, regardless of what direction it goes, whether it's you become greater financially or whether it's you become weaker financially. People who have no integrity and stuff like this can still get $1 billion, but they take shortcuts or they have to scam over or rip off other people in the process in order to do it. It's the same thing that is with you, Leos. Right. And not everybody can really understand the way that I read as well. Not everybody can understand the way that I read because, truth be told, it's not for everybody. This is for advanced people, people who want to understand practical advice, practical sound counsel that they can start to enact now to get the things that they want. It's not just hocus pocus and conjecture and talking about a situation, no solutions, no anything. It's actually telling you suggestions, right? Not telling you everything in particular that deals with your situation, but they are actual suggestions that if you implemented it, if you used it, then it could help. So I'm seeing that a lot of you Leos, like I said before, are ultimately looking at it like that, right? You're seeing a lot of the fakeness start to pop up. And the Page of Cups and the Three of Cups here is all about how, the way that they will tell you, they would try to have you convinced that it's all a delusion. It's all you, right? It's all you. You're the one that's at fault here, right? While at the same time they go off, right? They're trying to make it seem like they're having so much fun doing what it is that they're doing, when in actuality they're really not. They have to put on a front like they are. What does this have to do with you Leos? Well, you Leos ultimately see how it is a lot of the fakery is showing up. A lot of the nonsense is showing up, especially within the past year, right? From 2023 up to now, a lot of the fakery is showing up, right? You've been getting to know people, and it's just, there's deal breakers all over the place. There's something wrong with them. You know, there's something off with them integrally. It's something like, you know, maybe they may have little ones, but you don't necessarily want that. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but you don't necessarily want that. They're asking you for money, but they are a walking oxymoron, because the way that they portray themselves is they have money. They're buying this, they're buying the Gucci, they're buying that, right? They're trying to buy as much name brand as they possibly could have. And what? So the thing about it is that you're seeing that who they are, right, behind all the facade that they put up is not who it is that they actually are behind the facade, right? They very much so have to try to make you Leos feel like you're obligated, that you're missing out on something, right? That they can offer that you haven't found anywhere else with the people that you've dated in the past. And that if you go ahead and talk to them, that you would be getting something and benefiting in a way where you wouldn't, or you can't benefit with anyone else. So in other words, what it is that they're bringing to the table is something special. The Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles is about, and you try to actually date them, and you will find out personally on a first-hand primary source basis that you can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't take what it is that they are portraying or trying to portray seriously, because these are people that will ultimately be seen as by you as not failures. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to portray something that factually they're not, but they're trying to portray it. You know, instead of them, you know, instead of them go after the things that actually give them empowerment, or excuse me, not give them empowerment, they empower their selves with, they're more so interested in wasting their own time trying to appease or impress others. And then the Two of Cups now represents how this is a situation where you Leos want this. And you will continue, right? You have the Chariot after that. You will continue to be on the search for that foundational relationship between yourself and someone else. But it has to be with the correct person. You know, it cannot be with an idiot. It can't be with somebody that all it is that they want to do is be dysfunctional. The King of Wands is, and you're willing to really stand on that hill, you know, because you are a king or a queen standing on a hill. You know, you really are standing on a hill. Not physically, I mean, might be physically, but spiritually, you are above the spiritual pay grade of a lot of other people, you know. So let's clarify the King of Wands. Let's clarify the King of Wands. Let's clarify the King of Wands. You have the Four of Cups, Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Page of Wands, and then the Six of Wands. Wow, a lot of wands here. So a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of obstacles that sometimes get in you Leo's way of meeting the person that you could be with. And let's break it down. The Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Wands. The only reason why it is that people, that those quality of people give you a hard time is because they're upset at the fact that, in other words, they're upset at the fact that you have what it is that you have. They don't want to actually work in order to get there. But at the same time, they want to be able to think that if they were to date you, then somehow they would be able to actually get it by you sharing it with them. And what I mean when I say it, I mean they will look at you, Leos, like a safe bet, right? The romantic fun, the money, the attention that you Leos will give, because sometimes people get addicted to the attention that a lot of you Leos can give. You know, you Leos being the celebrities, if you know how to network correctly, you could end up connecting yourself or being connected to a lot of people who have pretty big names that the vast majority of people on earth have heard of, right? You know, i.e. celebrities. And you just able to see that, you know, you're not going to choose to hang around anyone that will try to ultimately hang around you simply because they want a free ride. You know, there's no such thing as free rides. The Page of Wands and the Six of Wands is about, and if they think of you as a person that is stupid or doesn't know what it is that they're doing, then they're in for a rude awakening, because you Leos do in fact know what it is that you're doing. Peace. Oh, Leo. So why is it that I love Leos? So I love Leos because, number one, Leos are very intelligent. A lot of times people don't really give Leos enough credit for that. Both sides, very intelligent. Leos are patient, especially when it comes to their friends and family and romantic interest. Very loving, very patient with them, right? Just observe the cat. You know what I mean? Just observe the house cat, observe lions, observe pantheras or panthers, observe them, and you'll be able to get a better understanding of how cats move. I love Leos because Leos pretty much are very good to their friends, very good to the people that they love, their family members, their romantic interests, like I just was talking about. And Leos will use that said intelligence to not only benefit themselves, but they have to come to a decision, though. It can't just be a spur of the moment kind of thing, right? That's what the lounging around and laying around is about. It's because the Leos are ultimately trying to come to some sort of a conclusion. They're trying to figure out what exactly is their next plan. And as a result of that, a lot of you Leos need to lay around for a little bit, take your time to observe what's happening, figure out what's up. And as a result of this, you know, this is a situation for you where a lot of you Leos have to really, you can't be nagged. You really just want to be left alone and think about what it is that you need to do as part of your strategy. I love the fact that Leos have an overall long-term strategy, and in the short term, you know what I mean? In the short term, it looks like you're just being lazy, but in the long term, you really do have an aesthetic or pattern of how, or some sort of tapestry. That's the word that I'm looking for. Tapestry as to how you want your life to actually play out, right? And like I said before, you Leos will use that level of intelligence to get you where it is that you want to go. And depending on if, you know, people were there with you from the very beginning, you'll bring other people along with you. Remember, Nipsey Hussle was a Leo. You know, Nipsey Hussle is actually an August born Leo, right? Me and Nipsey Hussle actually share the same month. Nipsey Hussle is born, or his birthday is August 15th, right? And my birthday is August 27th. So literally almost 2 weeks, because 2 weeks is 14 days, but almost 2 weeks to its completion, to actually, 2 weeks specifically to the exact number. And we was around the same age group. Nipsey Hussle would have probably been around 30, 39, 40, you know what I mean? At around this time, but anyway, so a lot of you pull from the opposite polarity of Aquarius anyway. So that calm, cool collectedness, even though y'all can be hotheads, remember, y'all are still fire signs. You Leos y'all can be ingenious, and you could pull from the opposite polarity of Aquarius. I love Leos because Leos can be some of the most physically attractive, but also physically intimate people that you'll ever meet in your life. And that's very important in a relationship. People really underestimate how intimacy is important to a relationship. And it's like, what's one of the things that separates romantic interest from friendships? Intimacy, right? Physical intimacy. If you can't talk about how this person is your romantic interest, and all it is that they're doing is they don't want to have, they friend zone you, even though the two of you are in a relationship. They're friend zone you, but then you can't get any kind of nookie out of them, right? But the two of you are supposed to be in a relationship. It's 6 months since you've known them, and this person has never even touched your shoulder. You know what I mean? I love Leos. I also love Leos due to the fact that a lot of you Leos are also, ultimately you don't take any crap from other people. When you love real talk, like when you love a person, I just have to go back to love again. When you love a person, you will bring community around the person, and you will make your family a part of their family. You will let the other person know that especially if they are in the correct place. Now, obviously, if they're not coming from a correct place, you'll throw them away. But if you are coming from a correct place, right, you Leos will, if they are coming from a correct place, you Leos will drape them or cover them in your love. You will bring them into your family fold and let them know that you love them and that your family, right, is a part of their family. And that if they didn't have any family, or maybe they did, but they didn't have any family that could be trusted, now they do have family that could be trusted, and that you and them are basically husband and wife, married pretty much. And like it is, I said before, that's a very beautiful thing. Obviously all the zodiac signs have their flaws, all of them, you know what I mean? The thing that I would say that I, love about you Leos, but you Leos have to watch out for because it can seriously cost you, is the fact that you Leos love so much, in fact, to the point where if you're not paying attention and you're just basking in the glory of your own fieriness, right, you can end up getting betrayed. And the reason why it is that I say that is because I've seen it way too many times, and I have a personal story myself. I'm not necessarily going to share, but the idea that your friends, or maybe even your romantic interest, or maybe even your family will betray you. You'll love them, and then they will lure you. If the jealousy is enough, they will lure you into a trap and try to get you really caught up. And the next thing you know, it can cost you. It can get you unalived if you're not paying attention. So the very same love that you want to give to other people, that makes you a genius, that has you not only book smart, but also emotionally intelligent, will also be the compassion that could get you caught up if you are not careful. So that's something that you Leos really have to watch out for. But other than that, this is why I love Leos.